Welcome. Today is October 11th, the Board of Equalization and Review. Welcome to the meeting. Just want to let everybody know that we are being recorded. Do we have any prior business to discuss administrative matters from the board?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. We have 4 appeals today. Wanted to see if we have any conflict checks with the 4 that we have on the docket for today. Anybody have a conflict?
I do.
Okay.
I have a conflict with Rhodes Glass and Service First Bank.
Okay. We will excuse you, Philip, from those. Anybody else? Next item is the elderly disabled exemptions. Did everybody get the list sent to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody have questions? Greg, I have a question about, if you wouldn't mind coming to the podium. And let me go ahead and we'll just get this kind of out of the way. Let me just kind of swear you in.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
I do.
Great, thank you. So on the list that was sent, have a question about the circuit breaker.
Yes.
That's on the list, as well as the charitable education.
All right. The circuit breaker, the applicant originally applied for the senior exemption. And they were denied because of other circumstances, but they had been in the circuit breaker before. So they reapplied for the circuit breaker late. So they have to come before you for approval. So that's the reason that one is on here for that. As far as the education, which is Gavin Dillard, he had another property in Black Mountain that he was getting the education exemption on, and he was unaware that it traveled with the PIN number and not him personally. So that's the reason for his late application to his new property that he has now for his same usage, that kind of stuff, educational, charitable purposes. So that's the reason for his late application for that. And that's the reason behind those.
So it was the same business, just relocated.
It's the same business, just relocated.
Or
to a
same
different-
entity.
Yeah,
relocated.
exactly. Same thing, just relocating. But he was unaware that it didn't follow him. It followed the PIN number, not him.
Gotcha. And then on the one with the circuit breaker, they were in the program before.
Yeah, they've been in the program for a while. They
Okay.
just were trying to get out of the circuit breaker where they doesn't defer the taxes. It just excludes them, but they don't qualify. So they're going to continue with the circuit
Gotcha.
breaker.
Okay, makes sense. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Do I hear a motion that we approve?
What was the religious before we have a vote?
Yeah,
What
okay.
was-
Yeah, the religious exemption was, they had received it in years past on a different parcel. Well, they split that parcel up to sell it to Gucas. And there was some different verbiage in the deeds, so it was mistakenly all sent to Gucas. And they, once we got everything squared away, then it was too late for them to apply timely, so they applied late for the religious exemption, which they've been getting on the original parcel. They just split it up and sold 2 pieces to them, but it's back in their name for the part that they originally should have had, which was just some verbiage in the deeds got misworded. So now they had to apply late for that. So that's the
Gotcha.
reason behind that. They had been getting in the past on the original mother parcel that they split out.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Thank you, Greg.
Oh, you're
Appreciate it. Do I hear a motion to approve the elderly disabled exemptions?
I make a motion, we accept as presented,
I second.
the circuit breakers, religious and
And
late
education.
and charitable.
Second.
I second.
Everyone in agreement? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Any? Okay, all right, motion passed. We have 4 appeals today. Leslie Wessinger. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Do we know that if she going to be virtual today?
They elected the virtual presentation, but they emailed me yesterday, Mr. Grant did, and he said that he had some continuing education classes that he had to attend today, and he said that he would not be attending.
Okay.
Virtually.
All right. So they won't be in attendance. Dr. Perry Stamatides not attending, and Rhodes Glass is here. And Service First Bank, they're not in person. So since we have Rhodes Glass that is here, I would like to push them to the front, since you guys don't have to sit through everything else. Is everybody in agreement with that? Would like you to go first, if I can swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
I do.
Great, thank you. Okay. So I won't have to swear you in.
Okay.
So this is just so everybody on the board understands which ones we've moved to. Rhodes Glass, this is number 798173. Hi.
Hi.
Let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
And can you tell us who you are too, please?
Yes. I'm Michelle Rhodes. I am the corporate secretary and administrative assistant for Rhodes Glass Company. My husband, Vic, is the majority owner. So I think I owe 20% of his 40%. I'm here just, I received the letter and reached out to the department and asked about the postmark. Reached out because I was shocked that I got the letter for it being late, because I brought my calendars. I'm a stickler for deadlines. And so when she sent me a copy of the letter, sorry, I'm a nervous wreck. When she sent me a copy of the letter, we had a change to our taxes overall on March the 14th of this year for the 2022 year. And we had filed for an extension of our business tax. So this late fees for the business tax. And when we had to file, and we had already filed our federal state taxes, and we had to amend those on the 14th. So on the morning of the 14th, those were filed. I went to my CPA's office and picked up all of my tax work, signed everything on the 14th, and put it in the mail on the afternoon of the 14th. I know I did. And I'm a stickler. I don't put anything in a blue box. I take it in and put it inside the post office so that it goes out immediately. And I don't want the risk of it being stolen, because I've had that happen as well. And so, to the best of my knowledge, this was in the mail post office on the 14th of March. Why it is postmarked the 16th, I don't know. But we've been getting letters that are postmarked, way back, that I'm getting 3, 4, 6 weeks later. I mean, checks. I'm a company that runs on, income coming in constantly. And so we've been getting to where checks, it takes 2, 3, 4 weeks to get a check. If I send out a check, it can take up to 6 weeks. We actually had 2 checks disappear and were frauded for over $18,000 on one check, $15,000 on another, which we were able to recuperate. But I was just here asking the board, we've been in business since 2005 and we've never been late. And I just really like maybe a one-time courtesy of this late fee being waived.
So because what you're asking for, I just want to be clear. So you're just asking for the penalty to be waived. Is that correct?
Is that the $3,000 I didn't get a breakdown of what was penalty and what was, the letter was for, that I received was for $3,000 something.
Yes.
The total bill, that, what you're looking at is the back. So the total bill was $228.32 with $20.76. So the value.
So this says 10% of the 33,586, which would be 3,000.
No, it's 10%. So it's,
Not of the value, but the tax
Correct.
is assessed. So
So the total bill was $228.32, and the penalty amount on that is $20.76, right? Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, well, I
Does that make sense?
apologize.
Yeah, I want to make sure.
I read the letter to say a 10% penalty applied to your upcoming property tax notice. I thought it was of the 33,586.
No.
I'm just a small town business girl. That's all I am. I do my best. It's a running joke in my family that I'm going to sales tax jail anyway. So, you know, I did not realize. I'm here fighting $3,000, not $20.
Yeah.
I think you're going to hear about this at Family Things.
I think so, too. I needed moral support. So what is the penalty and the tax?
the penalty was $20.76.
Yes, that's what we've got.
Yeah, I pulled up.
Well-
Yeah, that's what we have.
So the total is $228.
That's due at the end of the year, or is it due now?
January 5th.
Okay, well, I fall on the mercy of the board then. So just let me know what you're willing to do.
Does anybody have any
This
questions?
will be
or-
complete fodder.
Okay.
No,
Okay, thank you. So we'll hear from the county now.
Okay.
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you. I've already sworn you in, so we're
Yes.
good.
I'm Joyce Neal, if anybody doesn't remember. I'm business personal property appraiser for Buncombe County. And in the matter of Rhodes Glass Company Incorporated, abstract 798173, the question before the board is, has the penalty been applied correctly to the business personal property abstract? And as Ms. Rhodes stated, the listing form came in postmarked March 16th, so I had to apply the penalty. So in my opinion, the penalty has been applied correctly per statute 105-312, section H. Respectfully submitted today, the 11th day of October, 2023.
Thank you, Joyce. Does anybody
Any
have any questions for Joyce?
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce. Any comments? Discussion? If not, do I hear a motion?
well, I will make a comment. Mrs. Rose, we appreciate your candor, and everybody makes mistakes, unfortunately, and we all do. But my only comment is that we have statutes that we have to follow. And without regard to the dollar amount, and I understand, I certainly understand. But we still have a charge as a committee to follow those statutes. So that's the only comment. It's not a reflection on your credit, derogatory credit, or anything else. It's just a system. It's just a process. But it's still a process that we have to follow by statute. So I would make the recommendation that we accept the county's position. I think to not do that in your case would set a precedent. But
I tend to agree with Mark. While I would be willing to bet that you did get that in on time, and it was probably something to do with the postmark and the folks at the post office. I don't want to set a precedent where we're not following the guidelines moving forward as far as what state statute is. And so I feel terrible that you may get a few laughs at your next company-wide meeting, or because all this is being recorded and somebody's going to pull it up and show everybody. I agree with Mark that we should probably not go rogue and not set a precedence of alleviating folks of the penalty based on statute. And so, so I agree with Mark.
So do I have a motion out of that
Well,
discussion?
I made the motion.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, do I hear a
I'll
second?
rephrase that as a
Second?
motion.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So Mark's motion is to accept the county's position. And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion stands. And just so you know, anytime there's a penalty assessed, it doesn't go to the tax department, it goes for the schools. So, that's, and luckily you don't have a huge penalty, but it will go to the schools, Logan County schools. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so we will go back to the Dr. Leslie Wesinger. I hope I have said her name right. This is the one that no, you just said that they're not going to be here. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so we'll hear from the county.
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey, let me swear you in. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth and correct to the best of your knowledge and belief, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Right. All right, so this is for Leslie Wessinger, DDSPA. This is abstract number 797801, and it's an appeal of the discovery penalty associated with audit findings for the 2023 tax year. The question presented is that discovery penalty for the unlisted business personal property owned by Leslie Wessinger, DDSPA, correctly assessed in accordance with statutes? We contract out our audits with Tax Management Associates, otherwise known as TMA. Dr. Wessinger's office was selected for an audit in the 2023 tax year. It revealed assets were not reported in full or were reported incorrectly from tax years 2018 to 2023. On August 30th, TMA revised those audit findings from the original August 7th date, to which Ms. Sherry Blackwell received a formal appeal requesting the abatement of the penalties associated with the audit findings for those tax years previously mentioned. The total bill amount is $10,877.20. The penalty of that amount is $1,099.24.95. On September the 12th, I confirmed with Dr. Wessinger that the penalty abatement request was still in effect despite the revised findings. She confirmed that they would still like to appeal those penalties, and that is why we're here today. It is the county's position that it is the penalties are assessed correctly by statute.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Anybody have any comments or questions? So since they're not here, so the total discovery amount was $10,877.20 with the penalty of $1,924.95, and they're asking for an abatement of the penalty.
Of the penalty, that's
Okay,
correct.
Just the penalty of
Just the penalty.
$1,924.95.
And Mr. Grant requested that y'all would look at the a letter that his CPA filed, and it's in your packet, in his stead of not being here today.
Yes. And we all read everybody read what's in the packet, correct? Okay. Since we don't have, they're not here, makes it a little difficult. Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the recommendation of the county.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So for the case, Leslie Wesinger, 797801, the county's recommendation, and with the penalty amount of $1,924.95 will stand. Okay, the next one on the docket is Perry Stamatides, DDS, number 794770. And they're not in attendance, correct?
Correct.
And they are also asking for appeal of penalty. And since I've already sworn you in, you can go ahead.
As you stated, the matter is the appeal of the penalty. Has it been applied correctly to the business personal property abstract of 794770 for Perry J. Stamatides, DDS PA? The assessor's office advertises the listing period each year, which is January 1st to January 31st of the tax year. On April 24th, I reached out to Dr. Stamatiades' office checking on the status of their 23 listing form. A response was received via email from their office asking their accountant to answer my request. Ms. Sudduth, the CPA, attached the 23 listing form in her email response and voiced that our online portal stated the form was complete and therefore unable to submit the form online. I responded to Ms. Sudduth that Buncombe County does not have an online portal for listing forms, only extension forms. My email included screenshots of the extension portal, which you have. After receiving the value and late penalty notice, Ms. Sudduth submitted an appeal of the penalties. The bill for 794770 is $4,775.10, including $434.10 in penalties. The appellant was informed of the date, time, and location of this hearing, but was unable to attend. They were also offered the virtual option. It is my opinion the penalty has been applied correctly for the North Carolina General Statute 105-312, Section H. Ms. Studis, the accountant for Dr. Stamatiades, assumed that the extension portal that is well labeled as an extension portal was a listing portal. She did not check in with our department with questions regarding submission of the listing form online or any other way. Again, I state it is my opinion the penalty has been applied correctly per statute. Respectfully submitted today, the 11th day of October 23.
Thank you, Joyce. Does anybody have any questions? So this one was appeal for penalty as well, and the bill for abstract was $4,775.10, and the penalty was $434.10. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to accept Buncombe County's position on this.
I second.
Motion stands. Is everybody in agreement?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion stands. Okay, the next one is Service First Bank, abstract 3085637. This is appeal for penalty as well.
Okay. So as you stated, it's an appeal of penalty. Question before the board, has the penalty been applied correctly to the business personal property abstract 3085637 For Service First Bank, the assessor office advertises the listing period each year, which is January 1st to January 31st of the tax year. The assessor's office received and processed the business personal property listing form for Service First Bank dated March 14th, 2023. An extension form was not received by Service First Bank. After receiving the value and late penalty notice, Suzanne Hand submitted an appeal of penalties on June 12th. The bill total is $302.03, including $27.46 in penalties. The appellant was informed of the date, time, and location of this hearing, but was unable to attend. Ms. Hand states that they were unaware of the filing period, and that is why the listing was late. Now that they are aware, they will file on time. It is my opinion the penalty has been applied correctly per North Carolina General Statute 105-312, Section H. Submitted today, the 11th day of October, 2023.
Thank you, Joyce.
One quick question. if
Sure.
I can. I just want to, from what you said, it sounds like that the folks at the bank said they weren't aware of the filing period. Just want to make sure that there were multiple letters, or at least one letter sent out letting them know.
This was their first year filing, so we did not know of their existence, so we did not reach out to them. They filed on their own.
And does this one, do they have a CPA or somebody? I can't remember on this one. I'm scrolling real quick.
This is in-house staff.
Gotcha.
In, I assume, well, I don't want to assume. Is it customary that, that new businesses wouldn't be tipped off to the fact that, I'm sorry, yeah.
Sure.
Should I repeat that?
I understand.
Okay.
It's the business's responsibility to investigate that listing period. So they knew that they had to list. They didn't look when the listing period was. And they were renovating their building. So that impeded their filing from what they had submitted.
And you didn't do anything differently on this particular one that you would do for any other new business that were moving or coming to the area or occupying a new space or whatever. This is standard operating procedure for.
Right, because we have to go by what the statute says. If they had filed an extension and we have checked everywhere, they did not file an extension, they would have had an extension till March 15th. But their form was dated March 14th. So we didn't have that opportunity to extend the listing period.
Any other questions, comments?
And Madam Chair, they're only asking for are they asking for the total bill to be excused or just the penalty?
They are asking, they're asking for the penalty,
Penalties.
which is $27.46. Is that correct, Joyce? Yeah. So they're just asking for the penalty amount, $27.46. Do I hear a motion if there's no further discussion or comment?
I'll make a motion to accept the county's position.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion stands that the Buncombe County Property Assessment's Office, they've applied it correctly. In Service First Bank, abstract 3085637. Do we have any new business?
I don't think I'll remind the board of this. We have the next meeting next Wednesday, the 18th, or on that, same time.
Same time, same place, next Wednesday? Okay.
6 o'clock.
Any other questions, comments?
Same time.
Same time, same place next Wednesday? Okay. If we don't have any new business, I will adjourn us. It is 1:32 on October 11th.